Hey folks, I'm joined by my good friend Dennis Whipple, who is an awesome member in our community and has been absolutely just crushing it. Dennis, just a little bit about background about yourself. How many offers did you actually clear in the program for 2024 this time around?
Summer round, I actually cleared 5 offers, which was 4 more than I did last time. And this is a much harder market, so I think this is going to help people who might be struggling in this market.
Got it. So 5 offers. How many interviews were you averaging a week?
At my peak, up to 25 per week, but we would call it about 15 to 25 a week.
Okay. And during that time, also, like, how many positions were you applying to, like, roughly a day?
So there were days where I was averaging up to 100, but some days, there would be ebbs and flows, so about 40, 50, 60 a day.
How did you keep yourself, like, mentally motivated to keep the application going at that scale? Because a lot of people are like, they're really impressed with your numbers, but they're not able to bring themselves to do it. I mean, like, how were you able to go ahead and put yourself in this, like, mental frame where you could?
I knew that the more numbers I put out, even though it is not easy and it's difficult, the more success I'd see in the interviews. So I'd see more interviews come in. I'd have a stronger pipeline. I'd get more practice, and I'd see the offer quicker this way.
Got it. In terms of comp wise, if you don't feel comfortable dropping numbers, like you don't need to, but like what were some of the ranges if you do feel comfortable talking to us about the offer, like the offer amounts?
I mean, they've varied. So I can even talk about just what I've seen when I was in the pipeline. I've definitely seen salaries go down. So I've seen PM roles go as low as 95,000, and up to maybe 150K. Senior PM roles and lead PM roles up to 250 total package, and some were a bit north of that. But we are seeing salaries about 20% lower right now.
How did you do?
Um, Definitely got a significant offer I'm happy with.
How did you I guess the most important thing is like what was your what were some of like the offer amounts that you were able to go out there and see being able to constantly like stack and leverage those offers up?
So being able to stack them actually helped me increase my total comp from the first offer to the last offer by 90%. And that is by getting offer one, then getting offer two, and having them compete against offer one, having offer three compete against two, and so on and so forth. So 90% just by continuing to interview. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I guess the game plan that you utilized was pop in a lot of applications at the top of the funnel, let that trickle down, let that kind of like run its course in terms of like the timeline of when people are going to respond to you. And then on the back end, like just keep on improving your interview skills and just keep on stacking those offers and leveraging to negotiate and just leveraging to negotiate like different offers, right? To really get the rates up.
That's exactly it. I mean, there's a lot of talk about referrals. I haven't seen referrals work out as much as they did in the past. And the problem with referrals or not applying at scale or being too targeted. I mean, look, targeted is fine, and that could be a part of the strategy, but the problem is you have less interview opportunities. You still have the same amount of competition. And if I'm applying to, 20 targeted roles, if I only get one interview versus 200 total roles, where I might get 10 interviews, I have a better chance of getting the offer sooner.
Got it, got it, got it. Okay. Awesome, man. Like, why don't you walk us through like step by step, what's kind of like your process? If you don't mind sharing your screen, let us take a look at it.
Yep. All right, give me 1 second. All right, so we can start off by just visiting our regular job boards. So what I like to do is start off at LinkedIn.
Mhm.
What I did was I basically had a set amount of time that I would apply each day. So for example, I had maybe an hour or so each day on my calendar. Could be up to an hour and a half depending on the number of positions. But I start with LinkedIn, so it has the most amount of jobs for PMs, about 9,000 today. And here's kind of what I did. I would type in product manager, all United States into the search. I would sort by most recent, and I would also sort by the past 24 hours. I mean, if you're new to this, I would actually start with any time just so you can get more in. But as you start doing this every day. You only want to target the last 24 hours. And then when I did that, I have now a prioritized list of the PM roles that are newest to oldest, and I will start applying here. So I would take, for example, this one, product manager for data science at dot dash Meredith. I would click apply. Um, and this is a Workday position, so we have to unfortunately make a Workday account. So I would apply, autofill resume. I would sign up, I would log in, and I'd complete the application. Um, and I would complete this, however many times, up to 100 times a day. So then we fill that out. And there's also another hack that we can go and kind of expedite filling these out, but we can get into that later. But you do the same thing. Principal PM Microsoft, apply, um, fill out the application, and continue on. Next one. Let's try to find one that's a little bit easier and quicker for people. Maybe this one, Bridget. So this one is going to be a faster application. So you'd upload the resume. Second. You'd upload your resume. It'll autofill most of these fields, and then you input all these different questions, answers, and then submit application. Again, there's an extension that can make this faster, which is what I recommend. You may have just seen it. It's called Simplify. It does expedite this process for everyone. So that's kind of how I approach it at first. And then after I exhaust on LinkedIn, um, I would go right to Indeed and do the same thing because Indeed does have some similar, or it has some unique jobs that LinkedIn doesn't. So that's that part of it.
What would you say is like the disparity of it all? How much overlap is there?
Between the two or between all boards in general, I mean, there's some overlap. You're definitely going to find overlap, but I've found, I think I would say that people shouldn't be scared of overlap in the sense of applying for roles for the same company because this company here's a great example. Google has three roles right here, and they might be tied to three different recruiters. So I would say these are three distinct roles that I would apply for. And if you have some overlap, that's fine. I mean, naturally, there's going to be a bit of overlap.
Got it. So I'm noticing that like you have like jobs, most recent, past 24 hours. So the standard operating procedure is like searching for product manager roles first and like assuming that you're applying consistently, like get the postings that were posted in the last 24 hours.
Mhm.
Right.
Exactly. That has you get a better chance of getting your resume at least screened first.
Got it. And then once you actually have it, once you actually have that up, like making sure that you're utilizing how effective like did you find Simplify as a tool?
I found it quite effective. It was easy especially for Workday. It was so quick to fill out all the DEI and all those other forms for me and fields for me. I would say it saved about maybe 30 seconds per application, which is really significant.
Gosh. And it's basically, yeah, is it using AI to go out there and like kind of facilitate the process?
No, it knows it's basically trained on fields for each different application system, and it knows what to input.
Got it. Got it. Wow. Did you have like some rough numbers that you can show in terms of like what your application number
Yeah,
look like on a day-to-day basis?
yeah, sure. Give me 1 second. So I had here, for example, I had pretty big numbers. I was applying aggressively at this point, trying to get an offer. So, as I said, there are some days you can actually hit over 100. There are some days, you have to take a step back, so you will be slightly under that. But I was really performing, as much as I could to really get these numbers up. So you can see 73, 93, 20, 74, 43. And again, these aren't easy, but you do see the results quite quickly. And you know almost instantly if your resume needs to be tailored or not.
Got it, man. Wow, dude. I'm so proud of all the hard work that you put out there. That's absolutely boss of you. So for the people that are watching right now, definitely if you're looking to go ahead and get more product manager interviews and you're thinking about process, like I think probably the name of the game is just to do it, and then like you'll find ways to go out there and kind of trickle it down. I mean, I think like even as you were doing it, as the weeks went by, like every single day you're finding different ways to go out there and improve it and perfect the process, right?
Yeah, you are, the more interviews you do, you are improving your interview skills each time. So you are on the back end. Once these applications are being processed, you are improving your interview skills as well.
Got it. If you guys are interested in getting this, would you be cool enough to like that interview tracker? Like we if people are interested, can they reach out to you?
Yes. Do you want to see the interview tracker?
I thought we were looking at the interview tracker right now.
We didn't almost. So basically, there's another part of this. Once the pipeline is built and once you start getting interviews, you need a place to track everything. And I say that you need to go beyond email and you need to track it in one centralized place because there are so many different notes in each round that you need to keep track of. For example, I might, or even questions to ask the interviewer. So if I'm in a round one, I have a certain set of questions. If I'm in a round two or three, I have different questions, but also I keep learning new things during these rounds that I need. Um, I need all this information for the next round. So I need it all in one spot. So here's an example. Here's a few that I've had here. So for example, the first one, this is what I do. I put the company name in. So assuming I get an interview, I put the company name in. I put the current round, which can be anything from round one, round two, round three, round four, or offer. And then I put a status on it. So this one, for example, would be Spotify, round three or on-site in progress. There's many different statuses you have here. And this is great for tracking purposes. And then Q&A, for example, this is everything that all the questions I want to ask the team, or all the questions, or all the, sorry, the feedback I got from the team. So for example, on the recruiter call, these are some things I learned. Um, Hiring manager call, I had a bunch of questions and learned a few things as well. And then I had some questions for the CPO as well. And then I always put a source. So for example, this one says referral, but there's inbound, which means someone reached out to you. Application, pretty straightforward. Referral, straightforward. And outreach would be your follow-ups. And then notes would just be how I felt like I did on the interview, so I can improve. So for example, um, I said a few things in one of these interviews that I thought I can improve. So I just put it here. And this is the best way to keep track of this all.
Got it, got it, got it. Okay, very, very cool, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to go ahead and actually walk us through this. For the people that are interested in getting access to the Sarah table template, definitely reach out. We'll go ahead and talk to you very, very soon. Thanks, Dennis.
Bye.